The picture painted at the beginning of the film of Interrupters is one where Chicago is almost like a town at war, almost in parts, where kids are wearing bulletproof vests at the age of 13 to 15, and yet obviously it draws parallels to what's going on overseas and sending kids off to Iraq and Afghanistan while there's this very real problem here. Do you think that the focus on external problems and foreign affairs is sometimes too intense and should be scaled back until we fix some of our own problems at home?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I think what's happened with the issue of urban violence over the years is that there's been this sense of hopelessness in those communities that things can profoundly change. And then for people who aren't in those communities, people in the middle class, even black and white or upper class, they tend to look at those communities as beyond repair. And so what's the use? And I think that was one of the prime motivating factors too in making this film is to try and refocus attention on this problem that has been there for decades. And there's been progress, and ceasefire has made progress. And so the other thing is we went into this film tackling a very real and serious and oftentimes depressing and devastating subject. But what we came out with on the other end, I feel like, is this incredibly real and honest and truthful look at the violence in Chicago, but one that also has a lot of inspiration through the lives of our main subjects that we're following. I mean, these are inspirational people doing terrific work.
Right, with Amina and Tio and these guys, a lot of their work, and they come from backgrounds where they themselves have been either the perpetrators of violence as well, and are now turning to interrupting the violence and being involved with ceasefire. But with Amina and Tio, it seems that there's also a sense of redemption and reconciliation that's going on for them personally.
Absolutely. I think one of the prime motivating factors in each of our interrupters' lives for doing the work is they're seeking their own redemption and finding it. And Eddie, the Latino interrupter in the film, his story in the film is very much about someone who is still haunted, deeply haunted by the murder he committed, and is attempting to redeem himself through this work and is still troubled very much by what he's done. And yet Kobe and Amina, I think they have made peace with their past, but I think this work has helped them to do that.
There's a line in the film at the end, it's in the song, it says, "I know it's late, but wait, please don't give up on me." And I kind of feel like that was what you were, like a really key point of the message you were trying to give across with the film.
Absolutely. We've talked about redemption, and redemption is a key part of this film. It's also one of the things I think we discovered is if you were to spend time with Eddie, I mean you do in the movie, if you ran into Eddie on the street, you would never in a million years think this was a guy capable of having murdered someone. Mm-hmm. You would never think that Kobe was as rough a customer as he was back in the day. You might think Amina was, but they've each sort of found who they really are. It's a lot of times people say, look, this is a great example of how people have changed. And on one level, that is true. Another way to look at it is that what they were before wasn't really who they were. That was something else. This is who they really are. So they've really just found their way back to their true selves. And I think that's something that can be really inspiring. I mean, here we are at Sundance. We've had 2 screenings. People are giving them standing ovations. And when you think about it, it's like they're giving a standing ovation to people who have done these things in their lives. And they're giving them a standing ovation because of who they are now.